I was playing on my computer one day and decided I want to make a game, but I wanted to challenge myself to do it without using any code, so that's what I did. I could only think of one way I could possibly do this, and that was using the UI elements built into Unity, which is a game engine I'm quite familiar with. Unity has a way of linking objects to buttons on the canvas, which are displayed over top of everything else in the scene. By linking objects to buttons, and then using setActive, you can disable and enable objects. This is how practically everyone makes menus in Unity, but I'm going to do it to make the whole game. With all that explaining out of the way, I can start talking about the game. First thing I did was place a background in the game and made it dark blue. Then I added some text onto the screen, which would be the title. I didn't have a name for the game yet, so I just made the title game name. Next I needed a font, because there's no way I was going to use Arial for the font in the game. I searched on Google Fonts and found a font that I liked and added it to Unity. Then after that I added a play button and an info button. Once that was done, I made an information menu and linked it to the info button. I also made a back button that takes you back to the menu. After that, I changed all the text from white to a very light blue, which is almost unnoticeable and was a complete waste of time. Then I needed to decide what the game was actually going to be. I felt bad about no one being able to play my game from the previous video, and I thought I might have a way of making that without any code, so I decided to do that. I couldn't find the original game code using Python because all the files had disappeared, but luckily I had copy and pasted all the code into the comments of the previous video in case anybody had Python and could copy and paste it into their code editing app. I took that code and put it into a new Python file and everything seemed to work. The first thing I did was copy everything necessary from the instructions from the Python game into the Unity one. Once that was done, I started to work on question 1, but stopped because I had already been working on the game for almost an hour and was getting bored. Later that day, I logged back on to continue working on the game and finished question 1 and started to do question 2. I also gave the game a name, which was Code Shrimp Quiz. I decided to make the title look better to stand out more in the menu. After that, I decided to stop working on the game because it was getting boring again. It was day 2 and I was getting bored of working on the game. I knew that if I didn't finish the game today, I'd probably never get it done because it was the last day of the weekend and I would probably never have time to do it during the week. Finished working on question 2, then question 3, and 4, and then finally 5, all in half an hour. I also made an end screen congratulating you when you finish the quiz. Sadly, the game doesn't keep track of your score because that requires code and I can't code in this challenge. Instead, it recommends that you keep track of your score on a piece of paper, which I don't think anyone will ever do. After that, I spent another hour adding minor details to make the game feel more polished. I improved the background, made an icon for the taskbar, and a few more things. I also made sure to link the Python version of the game, and spent ages writing down the installation process for it and all the other 3 programs that you needed to get it working. It was so many steps I had to take when installing Python that I wasn't even sure if all of them were necessary or if they were optional. I tried to make the itch.io page look as good as possible, but I'm not very good at that. And that was how I made a game without coding. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to, liking the video and subscribing really helps. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye.